So, guys, have you ever had a frustrating day and you're feeling really, really bad about yourself? Yeah, I think we all have those days where, like, you feel like you're not doing well or you didn't do a particular cake well, and this was one of those days for me. So, this cake really frustrated me, yeah, but at the end of the day, it kind of turned out okay. But let's get started. Okay, so today I decided I was going to start by like making chocolate ganache and everything, and I had to restock some of my chocolate. That was what you saw me doing in the beginning. So I made chocolate ganache, and my recipe for my chocolate ganache is 3 part chocolate and 1 part cream. And then I already baked my cakes the day before, and I baked 2 layers of 8-inch square, and I was going to make a Barbie cake. This cake, when I thought about it, it was like fun and wonderful and great and artistic in my head, but putting it together was a whole different thing, and I almost died. And yeah, I pitched when the client wanted a Barbie cake. I told her, she, no worry, I'll make her a wonderful Barbie cake. And she's one of those customers that kind of does not tell me what to do. She basically just lets me do my thing. So she didn't know what she was going to get. And in my mind, yeah, I'm going to make her like, the box of Barbie, the Barbie in a box when you buy a Barbie, maybe on Amazon or something. That was what I was going to make. So it needed to be as tall as a box so it can fit an actual Barbie, because I was not going to make the Barbie out of cake. I was going to put an actual black Barbie in it because it's for a black girl. Our parents are Nigerians and stuff. So I had this really great idea in my head, but it was fun, it was great, but it was just really frustrating, and I didn't think it was going to be this hard. But guys, it was hard. So let's get into it. At this point here, I'm just trying to like stack my cakes and ganache them, and that was what I was doing. And I was not sure how many layers I was going to put in this cake. I just knew that like I needed it to be tall enough to be able to fit a Barbie, if that makes sense to you guys. And so that's what I'm doing right now. Point, yeah, ganaching it took me over 1 hour. Like I had to ganache it to be really square and have like really sharp edges. What am I saying? It took me almost 2 hours, and I was really tired, and it was so tiring. And the thing with filming while you do this is that I have about 3 lights when I film, and it makes it really hot. So I had to like turn off everything and work on it. And at some point I kind of forgot I was supposed to be filming, even though everything was in my front. It just wasn't on. That's where I was at this point. So at this point, I already finished the cake. I already put the panels, and I was struggling to put the top panels, guys. If you notice outside, it's already getting late, and at this point, it was almost like I think about 8 p.m. because it was during summer, and I was going to put some light, and then I think at some point I realized that the light I bought was supposed to be white light. It was white light, but when it came it was yellow. I don't know, I think they made a mistake, the people at Amazon that sent it to me. It was supposed to be white light, but when it arrived it was yellow, so that was not what I wanted. It was not giving me the feel of the cake. And another thing, sticking the light was a lot harder than I thought it would be, because like because while I was sticking in the light, right, I realized that like if I stick it just like that, it would not work. Like it will be falling off, and I didn't want the situation whereby it would be falling off, like, and my while my customer is cutting the cake and everything. So what I decided to do was I stock um toothpick. I broke toothpick into half so it wouldn't be too tall, and stuck it into the light. That was how I could stick in the whatever. And at this point I'm just trying to make sure like the box is tall enough for my Barbie to be able to fit inside seamlessly. At this point, yeah, I'd spent about maybe almost 4 5 hours on this cake. I'm not even kidding you guys. It was worth it at the end, but it was, I was supposed to charge a lot more for it. If I was going to charge for this cake, where I live in Dublin, Ireland, I was going to charge about 300. But this cake, I think I charged about $180, 180 euros for it. I'm telling you guys, I didn't think it was going to be this hard. When I thought about it in my head, it seemed really cool. And don't forget, at this point, yeah, I still have to like panel the front, so that way there is like an entrance, kind of like a door to the Barbie, if that makes sense. And this was already really stressing me out. I spent hours on this cake, and I was really frustrated. Everything took a little extra than I thought it was going to take. And I felt like at every point I had to be showing my partner like, look at it, like, what do you think I should do next? Should I put this, or maybe I should not put it this way? Should I do it that way? I needed a lot of help. This cake was a lot more, and I was grateful for the fact that it was supposed to be picked up on Saturday, but Saturdays are usually my busiest day. So I just told myself I'm going to, work on it on Friday, since like usually when I don't know what to expect from a cake, I like to do it the day before, just in case it decides to be a bitch, you know. Anyways, this was one of those cakes, and like it was a battle. It was just one thing after the other. And yeah, I know it looks simple, you just have to panel it, but like, for it to look right, certain things have to stand certain ways. You know what I'm saying now, yeah? Anyways, at this point, yeah, it was already dark, and I was thinking, okay, maybe I'll continue some part of it tomorrow. So I was going to wake up. Usually on Saturdays, I wake up really early, maybe around 5 or 6. But the next day, I told myself I'm going to wake up maybe around 2 or 3, just to finish up this cake and still have enough time to do my basic stuff before my customers start to pick up. Because on Saturdays, pickup starts at 12. And when customers are here to pick up, you can't be telling them you stories. You just give them their cake, and you don't keep them waiting either. Anyways, at this point, I'm trying to attach the front panel, that part where you can see the cake through, and I needed some help, and I just couldn't do this alone. I don't know, this cake was just like, it just kept getting hard, guys. Like, it was one thing after the other. At this point, I felt like the thing was bending, and if you know the actual Barbie box, like, there are some parts that are slanty. At this point, I didn't even know my partner was covering the filming. Anyways, guys, it was just one of those days. It was a mess. I was exhausted. See, like, I had to, like, it just dropped off. See, yeah, I had to leave it till the next day. Anyways, if you've ever had one of these days, just remember that, yeah, it happens to the best of us. Sometimes she just does not work out, and it's important, if you have like, time, a little more time, to be able to, finesse it and make things work. I don't know if that makes sense. For example, at this point, this cake was not working the way I planned it. I was going to put the top first, but if I put the top first, the bottom would not stick. The front, I don't know how to explain it, because my partner was blocking it, and he didn't even know it was blocking it at this point. I feel like we forgot we were filming. But I just told myself, these footages are not going to go to waste. I'm going to make a film, like a video, and show you guys that sometimes you struggle and it's okay. Anyways, this day, yeah, I struggled, and I like to tell you guys it ended well. It kind of did at the end of the day, but not this day, right? I had to wait till the next day for it to end well, because I was already like mentally exhausted. At this point here, I realize this cake is just not going to do. I'm going to have to leave it till the next day. But I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to leave a space in the middle, so like there is a, and then I can cover the top, so there is a space for the Barbie to stay, but that top keeps drooping. And no matter what I did, like it's just going to like put an indent on the bottom of it. I don't know if I'm explaining what I'm saying well, but it just wasn't working. Anyways, at the end of the day, I said I'm just going to leave it till the next day, that way to be a lot more firmer, so maybe it will work. And I also made a spare one in case this one does not work. Anyways, this didn't really end well, but it ended well at the end of the day though. But this was the end. So thank you guys so much for watching. And if you're struggling, if you have some time, just wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a better day.